Yo, it's Pika. I'm calling in. It's Tuesday night. You know where I am. Where am I? Singapore. I'm on the equator, you guys. Oh, man. All right, so it is. I don't even know what time it is. Forget it. It's night. It's like 10, maybe? Maybe. I don't know. Um, First day back at work. As y'all know, I had my 50th milestone episode yesterday. I'm so proud. Today is number 51, and today I want to talk to you about no pain, no drive. Yeah, I fucked it up. It's not no pain, no gain. It's no pain, no drive. Because I've been seeing a lot of situations lately that are cropping up in all my conversations where people are pissed off, people don't want to do this, that, and the other, but they're not using that pain. They're not using that pain to convert it into something that they can actually use. So for me, I'm going to talk about me because I don't know how y'all do what y'all do, but I know how I manage. Yeah? Nothing pisses me off more than being told I can't do something, being pushed into a corner where I'm not allowed to do something, being held down, being torn down, being brought down by people who are beneath me. I don't like those situations. I really don't. And they normally piss me off to the point that I'm going to say something stupid and piss you off, so you back the hell up, and then I have space to move and do stuff. The reason I started building this business is because I was told that I could not do this on my own. It was a black mark on me to be divorced in my culture. Like, who would want a divorcee? And then you got a child on top of that? How are you supposed to start over? And, oh, you need a man. You can't, you can't run a household without a man. You need a man. And all this bullshit. So I started gathering all these stones that people kept casting at me, and I started building. So I started building because of that. And that was before baby girl was actually born. The things that people would say to me, like, oh, you're in a black community, you're married to a black man and stuff. What the fuck do you know about black culture? Who the hell do you think you are? All these things. And then the baby mamas would come at me and talk about, like, oh, well, that is not your child and she's not your mother. You can't talk to her like that. And, don't teach my kid nothing. That's my baby. You can't, you can't take care of them. And not to mention the fact that in Virginia, a step parent has no rights. Okay, so to take my daughter to the doctors to get a checkup so she can go to school, I had to have permission. I had to have written permission because the doctor would not let me in to sit with my daughter, my stepdaughter. Anyway, so I've been through hell and high water. I have tread water for a very long time, and I can still hold my breath pretty well too. So I have made a habit of being angry, mostly because that anger fuels my drive and makes me want to go out and happen to the world. And I think that's what most of us entrepreneurs need. I know I've talked about it a lot before. The hustle is not pretty. It is not glamorous. It does not have eye makeup on. It's usually, you got like food stuck in your hair. You're sitting on your bed at 3 o'clock in the morning craving brownies and shit while you're still typing up a blog post that should have been done like 2 days ago. And you're trying to brainstorm on what else you can be doing to make sure that your business is continually moving forward. So it's stupid and ridiculously crazy, but it's worth it in the end, because who else is going to do this? And that's the funny thing, you guys. All the information you need about how to succeed is already out there. Everybody peddling their version of the truth, okay? How do they relate to the truth, and then how can they make sure that how their experiences can be brought in front of you so that you trust, like, know them, and follow what they have to say. So that's just the name of the game, right? The truth is one. The paths to it are many, and it just depends on what vibes with you and then who you're going to follow at that point. The funny thing is, with all of these people who know all of these truths and written books and books and books and done YouTube videos, tutorials, and handheld you to, get to the end, the finish line, and half of you might listen, a quarter of those people will probably get all the way to the end of the course and finish all the assignments. But even then, once the assignment's finished, how many of you are going to keep doing what you were doing while you were in that class? How many of you are going to, read the book, epiphany, and then do something about it? How many of you are going to have church syndrome? Going to church on Sunday morning, catch the Holy Ghost, really, really feel the preacher. Yeah, man, you on point today. I understand. I see you. I see you. You got me. I understand. You walk outside and the first person that complains to you about something, you're going, it's in one ear and out the other, and you completely forgot what you were talking about. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I want to remind you guys. For me, if there is no pain, my drive isn't there. If I don't have a million things to do and not enough time to do it and not enough money to make sure I have rice the next day to make sure that I can eat, yeah, the drive isn't there. If I don't keep going through stupid shit where, people keep leaving me, I don't have any help, I can't keep asking for help with money because eventually that will be my reputation. Oh, that's all she does. If she calls, you better duck her call because she's going to ask for money. That's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to be known. And it kind of like, it makes me feel greasy to even ask for help right now. That's how bad it's gotten. Okay? No pain, no drive. If I didn't hate my job before the one I have now, I have no problems with the one I have now. If I didn't hate the job before because that person was small-minded, had a little bit of authority, and the minute you just like question her, she's going to jump down your throat and make sure everybody in the closest 200-mile vicinity knew that you're a fucking idiot. Whether you were well-educated or not, just in her eyes, you're a fucking idiot. Those kinds of people, they fuel my anger. They set me on fire. I want to go out and rip throats and, just snatch stuff. But honestly, it's one of those Gone with the Wind moments where Scarlett O'Hara is like, I will never, never be hungry again. I will never go through this again. But young people these days, they want to jump out of school and go straight into entrepreneurship. And that's cool and everything, but do you know what it's like to have a job? Before you say, oh, I don't want a job, I don't want to work for anybody else. Do you know what it's like to be told that these are your hours and you can't adjust them because you're salaried, so they own you? Do you know what that's like? Do you understand what that pain in your gut where you're like, you know what? I don't have any help at home. Baby girl is at daycare. Suddenly she has a fever at the school calls and you got to go pick her up. And then you got to file MC or whatever, take a day off to make sure you can take care of your kid. And then you get in trouble because, oh my God, you put family first. How dare you? Do these people know what that's like? Like, do they understand the injustice of the corporate world? Where suddenly you're a commodity, you're a name, you're a number. You're a statistic they depend on to make sure that you build their dreams, but they don't realize that management is very different from leadership, and leadership will get you on fire to do your job because you love working for the person that's in front of you. And that goes the same way for like relationships. People forget you attract more love, or you attract more flies with honey than you do vinegar. So if you want your man to listen to you, show him he's important, and you won't have to ask him to listen to you ever again. He will flock to you because he knows that if he shows you a little bit of kindness, you're going to pour it back on him. He's going to feel like $1 million. He ain't going nowhere. No pain, no drive. I have lived through my fair share of shit. I have seen things I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I have survived things that I wouldn't in my wildest dreams want any of the people who've done me wrong to live through, because that's what they did to me. You know how that, everything you've done to me, already done to you from The Color Purple? Yeah, I don't wish any of those things. It's not fair, it's not nice, and I did not have an easy time surviving all that stuff. But I did. I'm here, I'm kicking it still. But if it wasn't for all those things, if it wasn't for that list of shit that I have lived through, I wouldn't be so driven right now. And I've always been this way. If it wasn't for people telling me that I didn't have enough education to get the kind of job I wanted, that I would be able to go far in life, that made me, back when online learning was brand new, that was back in 2003, I went out and I got my master's online while I was working 60 hours a week. When I was in college, I made sure, I got in on a scholarship, but I also got a work study to, lighten the load for my mom. I didn't want her to pay more than she had to. So I got in on a scholarship. I did a work study. The work study was originally in the library, but then, I switched. I don't know. I can't remember why I switched, but I switched and I ended up working in the cafeteria instead. And that was great because I love to cook, right? So I took over the Eagles Nest over at Bridgewater College, and I ended up working 50 hours a week on top of a full course load, 12 credits every semester. And I still graduated on time. I know people that, didn't have a job, couldn't figure out what they wanted to do, were attracted to the school life or whatever, and loved the fact that there was a new bunch of girls every year that would be on the freshman class, and they were about to be that guy on campus that had been there forever and knew everyone and had been through everyone and took 6 years to graduate. Yeah, I know those people. I'm just not like that, man. I don't like wasting time. I don't like wasting energy. If I can find the most direct way to get someplace, I'm going to take that route. I'm not going to go through 10 buildings and turn around in circles and then get to where I need to be. I'm going to go a straight shot because it's easier for me not to get lost because I have a tendency to get lost. And it's less energy. I don't want to waste energy. I don't have time to waste energy. As it is, I'm losing weight. I don't sit still long enough to gain weight. I'm proud of who I am. It took me 36 years to be okay with who I am. I used to think there were so many things wrong with me. I mean, 2 failed relationships. One was a failed engagement. The other one was a failed marriage. Obviously, it takes 2 hands to clap, but I can't blame the other person. I can't tell him what he did wrong. I can only control me and my thoughts and my actions. So yeah, I had a hand in that. That didn't help out much. But I tell you what, you ain't never met a girl like me. There will never be another one like me. And I'm proud of that. If I'm in a relationship with you, I'm all in. I am all in. I'm betting it all. Because what's going to happen next is I'm going to learn everything there is to know about you. And I'm going to spoil your ass. You don't have to get out of bed if you don't want to. I'm going to handle everything. You can get up out of bed and you can come sit on the couch and I will still bring you breakfast, bring you lunch, bring you dinner. I will make sure that I cook your favorite foods. And then little by little, I will broaden your horizons a little bit. I'll start cooking stuff that I like or things that I think you would like. I will start anticipating your needs. That's just who I am. That's the hospitality. That's a Southern hospitality in me. I'm a go-getter. I'm a mover. I'm a shaker. I'm one of those people that's going to rock the boat just because I can. What is that saying? A boat is safe in harbor, but that's not what it's made for. I want adventure. I want passion. I want people who can't wait to be around me. Because together we're like more crazy than you could imagine. That's what I want. I want us to be crazy as hell. I want us to laugh till we can't breathe. I want us to do stuff. Let's go out and do stuff. Wouldn't that be awesome? Anyway. No pain, no drive. I get scared. I want to quit. There are things that happen that they throw me off my game. I'm not going to lie. There are friends of mine that will tell you, I have called them in tears because I can't catch my breath. I'm so scared. There have been times where I didn't know how I was going to eat if I couldn't feed her first. And that was this year. I'm not talking about like a long time ago. I'm talking about this year. There were days where I would have maybe $20 to my name and I'd have to prioritize what I could buy that I could make the most varieties of food with. And usually it boils down to milk, bread, and eggs, because I can do all kinds of shit with some milk, bread, and eggs. I know what it's like to skimp. I know what it's like to beg, borrow, and steal. I know what it's like. So because I know that pain very well, I'm driven. But the other thing I will tell you is this. If you haven't suffered, you haven't used your imagination. I'm telling you now, there's no way you've used your imagination. There are funny things that happen when you're down to your last couple dimes and you still got a ways to go before that next check hits, and you got to make some shit happen out of thin air. And the fact that you can run on fumes for so long, that's some amazing shit too. I'm telling you, you don't know creativity unless you've been poor. So for all y'all out there creating content, for all y'all out there like, yeah, I need to have this app and that app, and yeah, I'm going to pay this, and I'm going to pay web design, I'm going to pay all these. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all the things that you're going to do, but I'm going to do it without spending money. Because creativity means you're going to be resourceful. You know how to research stuff. You're going to go and ask in every place possible, and you're going to find a way where you don't have to pay. I mean, there's sometimes too where I jump the gun and I'm like, yeah, 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 I need it now, and shit, this is the best way to do it, and I pay. And then I'd be like, what the fuck did I just spend that money on? I could have done something else instead. I can't tell you how many courses I bought and I still haven't finished them. I mean, they're there. It's like lifetime access, thank God, but still, I haven't finished them. Some of them I haven't even started. I think I have like 5 Udemy classes that I haven't finished. I think I have 3 courses from By Regina that I have not started. I think I have another course that I paid for from the Six Figure Chick. I haven't started. I'm an information hoarder. I love information. And maybe that's a problem, but that's, I mean, I'm being honest, this is who I am. But for everything that I paid for, there is a way I could have done it without spending money. I love books. I love to read. And yeah, I'd rather have my own book so I can like have sticky notes and write notes and highlight and whatever. But guess what? That same shit is available at the damn library. How many of y'all do that? How many of y'all save money because you can? I'm not the most savvy person, but I know what it's like not to have money. And you know what? When I upgraded from my job at Grand Hyatt and went to IQ Kids, I gained $1,000 in salary. But the end goal was still to only spend the same amount that I had to spend back when I was at Grand Hyatt, because I could make my budget work and then to save that extra 1,000. But as luck would have it, shit happened and I haven't saved anything to date. I have not saved anything. If it wasn't for CPF, I would have nothing. I would have nothing in my savings, my retirement savings, the housing fund, my Medisave. I wouldn't have anything in there. Pain does something to me, man. I remember when I was sitting down to talk about the contract for Scholars Inc. and I knew for a fact that I hadn't looked for any other jobs because I thought that, this was going to be a great opportunity for me and I didn't want to lose it. I should have looked for backups, but I had this feeling that this was going to be it, that, it'd be great. And when they sat down to tell me or walk me through the contract to the point where, it states what I would be paid, I mean, I was thinking I was doing the law of attraction pretty good up to a point, until that point. But when I saw that number, my heart sank, and I was trying really hard and praying really hard that it wouldn't show on my face, because I don't want to look disappointed in front of new employers. That wouldn't be fair. And immediately, once I left out of there after smiling, and yes, okay, yes, I'll go back and read it, and yes, I'll sign it and come back tomorrow. Thank you so much. And I walked out of that shit. I started getting really angry. I started getting so angry. And I know the people I was talking to back then, I think he was nervous. He was like, yo, what's going on? What the fuck? Do you need help? I was like, nope, I don't need help. This is where I shut the whole world out and start listening to Lil Wayne all over again. And I get angry. I get really, really angry. To the point that if I was walking through the MRT station, people usually avoid my ass, which is fine. That's exactly what I want. I need to be by myself. I need to be angry. Because when I'm angry, I start looking at everything that could possibly go wrong and I start preparing for it not to go wrong. I start looking at everything where I can cut corners and make this shit work. So something about me and my temper has helped me through more shit than you ever realize. That pain converts to temper really fast for me. If you slight me, if you insult me, if you think you're playing games or you're real slick and you think you can avoid me and then come back when you feel like it, no, that shit turns into anger real fast. And then I start thinking. Then my brain starts working. Then my adrenaline starts pumping. It's like Divergent. And she was talking about, those sleep-induced, it was drug-induced scenarios where she was like drowning or claustrophobic or whatever, and she would like snap herself out of that and realize, hey, it's a dream, and then like walk through that problem. For some reason, her adrenaline kicked in, her brain started working overtime, and with her imagination, she was able to think her way out of that situation. When I get angry, I am able to see from a different perspective. I am able to shift my focus. I am able to look at the whole picture and think about where I can cut corners and make my life work. So I am very grateful for my temper. I'm very grateful that the amount of stuff that's happened to me has happened. Any slight change along the way in my life, and I wouldn't be this person. And maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, I don't care. I like who I am. I'm proud of who I am, and I don't want to be a different person. I want to get mad. I want to show my temper a little bit. I want to use that anger to fuel this little crusade I'm on, which is to build my brand and be completely independent and not have to worry about anyone helping me. I would rather be in a position to help you than have so many friends that are so nice to me that I can go ask them for help at any given time. I don't want that. I don't want you to help me. I want to help you. I had someone who's not really like very, very close. They're a recent friend or whatever, and they had the foresight to ask me, hey, you know what? You just started work. It hasn't even been a full month. You're about to get paid, but it's going to be half a check. Are you going to be able to make it to the end of the month? And this is something I'd been sweating over anyway. I hadn't told anybody. I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And then this person asked, and I was like, wow, somebody's actually thinking about me. Someone's actually really considering my position in this game. And it blew me out the water that this person, this stranger, would offer to send me money. The minute that person said that, of course, I got clicked into gear. I was like, no, I don't need your money. I will figure this shit out. I've been through worse. I have been on unemployment where I get $300 a week to feed a family of 5 and pay all the bills. And you know what? I did that shit too. There have been a lot of times in my life where I didn't understand the situation I was in. I couldn't believe I had fallen so far from grace, and I wasn't sure how I was going to get through. I remember there was one specific day. When you get a debit card, in the U.S., back before they tightened up their security on debit cards, right? I knew that 3 days before the check cleared into my account for my new paycheck, that I could go ahead and charge something to my debit card because the overdraft wouldn't kick in for 3 days, so that by the time it did kick in, there would be sufficient funds in my account and I'd be able to pay for whatever I needed. That's how bad it was. I had figured that shit out, okay? That's how bad it was. And I remember one day, it was close to Christmas, and it was one of those days where I had no choice. I had to go out, and I had to bring the kids with me, and I had to go get groceries. And I was thinking, yeah, I've done this before. There's no problem. I've never had a problem with it before. Let me just do it again. Filled that cart up with food, and I had to get some stuff for, decorations for the tree and everything. And I was at the checkout line at Walmart. Got there, and I was like, yeah, I was confident because, it was... the money would have cleared the next day. It wasn't even 3 days. It would be the next day. And I was getting ready to charge my debit card, and it didn't go through. And I was in a situation where my face was flushed with embarrassment. I was so embarrassed because both the kids are with me, and they were looking at me like, oh, goddamn, seriously? And I was so embarrassed, but I was getting ready to be like, you know what, that's okay. I'm so sorry to bother you and put you through having to scan everything. I'm just going to leave this right here. I'm just going to go home. What else could I do? I wasn't in a position to change anything. I wasn't going to go argue with these people. It's not like I could take that home anyway. So I was just about to, walk my ass out of Walmart and just go right back home. But by God's grace, the person behind me, because of the holiday spirit, saw fit to pay for my groceries as well. And it was like $100 and some something. It was pretty ridiculous, but I have never been blessed like that before in my life. But knowing that pain, knowing that embarrassing feeling for my kids to look at me and be like, whoa, what's going on? Why did you bring us out here if you didn't have money? That kind of stuff. I've lived through it. This memory will never go away. I will always have it. And that is why I will make sure if I can ever help someone else, I will. I will always pay this forward. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to leave an engagement, go get an apartment by myself, and the worst part, the big bad news, I lived in Newport News, because it was the best that I could afford at the time. Me and my friend had gone to get apartments out there, and she had an apartment maybe down the street from where I was, but I was going to live by myself with my dog. And I didn't know, that area very well, and I'd never been out there, before, and I was scared. That was the kind of area where there were drug deals going on a lot. There were people who would run up and down the stairs and knock on everybody's door and scare the shit out of me. Single female, dude. Like, yeah, I have no one to take care of me, but I'm used to that shit now. I remember getting evicted from that same place. It was the most embarrassing stuff I had ever been through. Lots of embarrassing stuff, right? But I survived that, and I was lucky enough to have a couple of friends that I worked with at work who were looking for a roommate, so I moved in with them. Funny thing is, within about 6 months, that shit caught on fire. I lost everything. And that's actually when I moved in with my would-be husband at the time, because I was out of luck. The company actually put me up in a hotel for a night until I could get my stuff together, and I had to find another place to live. Like, when I tell you I've been through some shit. Lucky, thank God, I didn't have children at the time, but I've been through some stuff. I've lived through it. So I'm not lying when I say no pain, no drive. If I hadn't lived through this stuff, I wouldn't know what it was like. I wouldn't know what that anger was like, what that pain was like. I would have settled for whatever life I had at that point. But I know I'm capable of much more. I know I can do better, man. I've done better before. That's why. I need that pain. I'm not saying I want to suffer more. Please, God, don't take this as a sign. I'm not saying I want to suffer more. I'm saying I'm grateful for every one of those terrible situations. Because without those terrible situations, I wouldn't be building this hard. I wouldn't have anything to write about. There would be nothing for me to coach you on. What the hell would I know about life at that point? I'm grateful. I'm angry, but I'm grateful. And I'm happy because I feel like I could be of some use in this world. I'm here to serve. I'm here to be here for you if you need me. Whether you write to me, whether you comment, whether you message me, whatever it is. Just listen. Listen and take whatever you need to take from these audios. That'd be great. I'd be happy for that. Once I start writing again, write. Go read all that stuff that I write. See if that helps you. I have a piece of good news. So crownforsuccess.me, which is the blog site for Crown for Success, finally added me as a blogger. Yay! So coming Sundays are blog pieces from me. I am a guest writer. So I'm very, very excited. Pretty soon there'll be coaching calls coming up too, so I'll let y'all know the details once they're out. But I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm on my way. It really just depends, you guys. It depends on your attitude. It depends on how you're going to take the things that happen to you. Are you going to take them and run? Are you going to fight what you have? Are you going to fear everything that's going on? Are you going to control it? Are you going to take command of, the script in your life? You're supposed to be the heroine or the hero in your life. You know that, right? You're not a victim. You are supposed to be the hero. What you going to do with your life, man? After everything is said and done, what you going to do about your life? What you going to do for yourself? I don't know. But the pain is important. All right, y'all, I'm going to sign off here, and I will catch y'all again tomorrow. I'm hoping I made some sense. I'm hoping I got y'all a little fired up so you can take care of everything that's going on. As always, love from Singapore. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye.